All right, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, my name is Darius Anucauskas. I'm the Chief Market Analyst here at Markets.com, and today is Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen, the 8th of July, 2025. Look, I want to quickly pick up on DAX, and in general, we are seeing, a nice kind of positive atmosphere right now because despite of all the issues that we're facing, despite all these tariff threats and everything like that. It's all over the place because look, today is Tuesday. Like I said, today we're getting the announcement that now the July 9th is not gonna happen. It's gonna be the first of August, and blah blah blah. I mean, okay, I think the market is getting kind of slightly immune to this because let's face it, the ones who are imposing tariffs are not really they don't really want to get their they get the blood on their hands in a way, because if the stock market starts collapsing because of all these tariffs, they will be remembered as the ones who kind of brought the market down. Yes, despite their potential in good intentions of trying to improve their own economies and everything by creating more jobs in the country. So let's face it, the market reaction would be a little bit different one. So long story short, I mean, for now, I would say I'm looking at the technical picture because to trust the fundamentals, or let's say the just in general the macroeconomics, it's a little bit difficult right now because it's either once it's here, once it's there. It's like we're getting tariffs. We're sure we're probably sure we're going to put tariffs on. So it's a little bit, like I said, it's a little bit of uncertainty, and I think that the market's kind of really getting used to this. It's like we had a decline in April. That was like the shock. That was something that out it came out of the blue and everybody kind of panicked. But now I think the market's kind of understanding what to kind of expect. They expect a potential announcement of tariffs, and they expect a big amount on certain countries. However, I think what the market also understands is that these tariffs, they could, yes, they could they could like go into effect. However, not at the present, not the percentages that the White House is kind of advertising it at. So I think they would be lower. So we're accepting the fact that there is going to be, let's say, an additional tax, let's call it, this way. But is it going to be, let's say, 25, 50, 100, whatever? No, I don't think so. I think it's going to be, adjusted, or even better, it might get implemented. However, with a lot of, little asterisks on the bottom, excluding blah 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 blah, right? So this is what I'm saying. So for now, for Europe, yes, they're threatening with the 50%, but are they going to put the 50% on top of all these like wines and liquors and food, and that gets imported into the US from EU? Are they going to do that? It's going to really ramp up inflation, and then you're not really going to get the desired rate cuts that you wish. So that's what I'm saying. It's like really, it doesn't make sense, at least to me. Somebody, if you don't don't agree, honestly, put it in the comments. We can have a debate. But at this point in time, you're even though you have this big goal of creating these bringing everything back to your own country, and kind of trying to make the economy thrive and become a producer, a big producer, a global producer. I don't know. I mean, like, honestly, you have more issues than that. You need cheaper labor force as well, and but at the same time, you're kicking out a lot of cheaper labor force. So that's what I'm saying. It's a little bit of a everything is up in the air, and I think the market is kind of understanding this, and I think that they understand that this might not go through. But if it does go through, then the market could again sell off very hard. But then again, do you want to have that blood on your hands? Um, hmm. So it's a tricky one, right? So at the moment, I think that the threat game will continue. However, will the market panic? I don't think so. So that's why I'm looking at the positive here, positive scenario here on DAX. as long as we stay above this highest point, not the highest point, but the high of the 30th of June, which is around 24,120 zone right here. If we stay above that, I'll go for that all-time high, maybe even higher. But yeah, but I'm not really, like I say, getting very bearish. I'm going to get bearish if we do fall below the 23,671 territory right here, and or maybe actually it doesn't matter which level, as long as we fall below the 50-day EMA and we stay below it. Yes, we did have a drop in the middle of June here, but then it kind of stabilized. Looking at the the weekly here, so we have some room for some downside for a retest of that 50-day EMA. So I'm not really gonna. I'm not gonna really gonna how to say it. Get very greedy, no, but I'm not going to dismiss an opportunity for the downside. No, look, back in June here, mid-June, we actually dropped in the middle of the week. We dropped below that 50-day EMA, but then on Friday we kind of ended up above that 50-day EMA. So it was a good little tease here. So that's what I'm saying. So, but if we do stay at least by the end of the week below this 50-day EMA on a daily chart, then I'll consider a little bit of a larger maybe correction back down. But at the moment, I'm looking at the upside, and as long as we stay above the high of the 30th of June, I'm going to continue targeting the upside. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope this helps. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you agree or not. But yeah, that's my thought. That's my view. It's debatable, of course. I'm not saying that I'm the most right person in the universe, but again, I'm trying to find some sort of logic in all this. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching and listening. As always, stay safe, have your stop losses in place, risk only what you can afford to lose, don't overtrade, and everything will be fine. I'll see you later. Bye bye.